May 22nd meeting to order. Neil, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first items we need to cover are the approve the minutes for the work session on April the 10th. Does anybody look at that and have any? I think we have a quorum.
Yeah, I think we got it.
We have a quorum of the people that were there. Bill, Mike Ahern, and Brian.
I move that we accept the minutes.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
All right.
All right, then we have the non-public, April 10th, 2017.
Make a motion that we approve them.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Abstain. Okay, Board of Selectmen minutes for April 10th, 2017.
Motion to approve them.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have, all right, May 1st, non-public. Any questions? Have a motion?
Motion to approve them. Written.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, Board of Selectmen's work session, May 8th, 2017. Have a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, Board of Selectmen's non-public, May 8th.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Board of Selectmen's minutes, May 8th.
Make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right. Announcements. The Select Board will meet on the following dates. Regular meeting 6 p.m. Monday, June 12th and June 26th. Work review sessions prior to the regular meeting will start at 5 p.m. All of the above meetings will be held in the Town Hall unless otherwise posted. Citizens wishing to be listed on the Select Board's agenda should notify the Town Hall before 12 p.m. the Friday before the scheduled meeting. Town offices will be closed on Monday, May 29th, 2017, in observance of Memorial Day. The Plymouth Memorial Day Parade will be held at 10:30 a.m. Lineup begins at 10 a.m. at the Armory. New members are needed for Planning Board and Zoning Board positions. If interested, please submit a letter of intent to the Plymouth Select Board's office, 6 Post Office Square, Plymouth, New Hampshire, 03264. I have the Plymouth Water and Sewer Department. The Plymouth Water and Sewer Department will be flushing the water distribution system during daytime hours between May 24th and June 16th. For specific dates and locations, visit www.pvwsd.com. Please be aware that the flushing schedule is subject to change, although there will be flushing on specific days at specific streets. Customers may experience discolored water beyond the flushing area at any time during the flushing period. Water users are reminded to check for discolored water prior to washing laundry. The discolored water is caused by harmless sediment flushed from the main line and is safe for human consumption. A loss of pressure may be experienced during flushing. The Plymouth Village Water and Sewer District aims to minimize inconvenience to residents and businesses. If you have any questions, call the office at 536-1733. We don't need to read this schedule, do we? All right, Plymouth Fire Department parking lot will be closed May 31st through June 5th for paving. All right. I don't have any chairman comments. Does any of the other select board members have any comments they'd like to share at this time? Okay. Appointments. Lisa Donner. This letter is to request renewal of my appointment to serve on the Plymouth Conservation Commission as a full member and as chair. The Conservation Commission has reviewed my work and has voted to approve my reappointment. Sincerely, Lisa Donner. Do we have a motion?
I move that we reappoint Lisa Donner as...
Sorry. Oh, never mind. Second that.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, we have some purchase orders, Joe?
Yeah, they have two of them. Where do you want to start?
Go ahead.
Well, I have one for industrial traffic lines, and that one is one that we do every year, and it's gone up. The price of paint's gone up enough, so it's just $200 more than last year, but they're competitive and reliable, so I stayed with the same company. And that money's designed to do the yellow lines going up over Highland, and it does Boulder Point, and then part of Green Street, and it does the white lines also on Highland. And so it's a maintenance thing that we do every year, and it gets done before or after July, right in that area, as soon as the weather permitting. I try to do it right after the college kids go away.
A little less traffic. All right. Do we have a motion from the board?
I move that we accept this PO for industrial traffic lines for $33.50.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so the second one is for KV Partners, which is our engineer. And so this is for the drainage design on Phase 2 and a preliminary design and the final design for all the wetlands and all the he did a hydraulic study for the water shed, and so all the stuff that went into prepping this before the grant, and to make sure that this Bell Road project goes into place. So
Mr. Chairman, I want to let you know there might be some public comments about Bell Road. There's a couple of families that are in the audience right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but this purchase order is covered by FEMA and emergency management.
Okay.
this money's already been appropriated for this, so.
Want to recognize people? And
Yes. There's John Gavoni and Bill Billen.
if you come up to the microphone and.
My name is Ben Billen. I live on Bell Road. And I'm representing several of my neighbors, and we have some concerns about Bell Road that we'd like you to make you aware of. In our opinion, Bell Road is already a shortcut into Plymouth for way too many people. They take Bell Road to Reservoir Road and turn onto Highland Street right in front of the entrance to the school. Many cars already travel way too fast as the way it is. Dust is an issue for all of us who live on and near Bell Road. Widening and improving the road will increase the traffic count. Increased traffic count means more dust for residents and more traffic at an already congested intersection. I don't think this was a well thought out plan. Bell Road is wonderful the way it is. The plan to widen the road in certain areas and install drainage ditches filled with riprap stone is flawed. Riprap stone drainage does not belong on a dirt road. It will only last a few years at best and will be filled with sand and dirt. It may last a year or two. Bell Road is one of the few remaining quiet dirt roads in Plymouth, and we should do nothing to take away from its charm. We are also concerned about the integrity of our stone walls. Widening the road in areas will only put these protected landmarks at greater risks. We should be protecting our road and not turning it into a more attractive shortcut. We should consider reducing the speed limit from 30 miles to 20. High speed and increased traffic will cost the taxpayers more in maintenance. Perhaps we should re-examine how we maintain the road now. Why should we spend money on taxpayers' money on unneeded upgrades? And the town right now does not even own a working York rake. And a York rake is what is needed to properly maintain a dirt road. And if we do get a York rake, please do not let them put it on the front of a pickup truck, because that's probably what damaged the York rake we did have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Joe, you have any comments?
Well, I've already had a full, lengthy conversation.
Point of order. You really can't conduct the business this way. You got a purchase order on the table that has nothing to do with this.
This has nothing to do with
Doing a
what he's...
design work on it.
No, this is for paying a past bill.
This work has already been done, it's been approved.
All right, well,
been
I thought this pertained,
It has
okay.
nothing to do with going
Projected
forward.
for, so
All
We
right.
have to pay the bill.
I have no problem answering his questions, but it has nothing to do
Okay.
with this purchase order.
Well,
It just happens to be tagged with the same name. It's not,
all right, I wasn't aware that the design has already been done,
Correct.
and we're paying the bill.
I make a motion that we approve the work that's already been done and pay the
The
bill.
design.
The design.
It's already been done.
it's already been done. It was ordered by FEMA for us to do it, so.
I second the motion to pay the
All
bill.
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Now you can continue.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, you may, Neil.
I agree with Mr. Billen that there is a very high level of traffic going through there, taking a shortcut, and they do drive too fast. And I think maybe some type of enforcement might help.
I have no problem with enforcement, but I've already had the same conversation with Mr. Billings in length, so he already knows my opinion. So I don't know if I'm supposed to have this conversation again with the board, or if you have any concerns of what he has asked, I can answer them.
Oh, go ahead, Bill.
I can sympathize too for the fact that I live in a reservoir, and I'm kind of like benefit from all the people kind of like using that as a shortcut. But the FEMA grant was put in to actually lessen the danger of Bell, and
So-
people are running off the road. So there's the safety issues here too that we had to.
The FEMA grant is based on drainage in culvert, based on 150-year storms. So I already explained that it's not gonna change the integrity of the road. All it's gonna do is upgrade we have a lot of, like probably 80% of those culverts have failed. So So we're gonna replace and upgrade these culverts according to the hydraulic study that tells us what they need. Some are undersized. So if you're gonna fix a road, you're gonna fix it right. And so that's what this is based on. But people seem to think that this is based on a rumor that's going around that we're gonna pave that road. Well, that's not, to my knowledge, it's not gonna happen. That this is all about drainage and culverts.
Is there a concern about the stone walls, or?
Yep, and there are a lot of stone walls, and so we are trying to acquire easements for everybody on every piece of property that we work on. And so Mr. Billings is one that has concerns, and so are some of the others. And I have no problem trying to address them. But some of the things are unrealistic. I mean, if you're basing on the highway fixing a road and making it better, well, so it doesn't, I can't control the traffic count or whether people decide they want to use it. But for us to take a grant and upgrade the road with that kind of money is only a benefit to the townspeople. To take that away, that's just doesn't make sense, not to the highway or myself.
This is Joe going out there with the feds. No, the feds and FEMA told us that we had to do this if we wanted to continue to receive federal money.
This is a well thought out.
This goes back 15 years.
Okay, ma'am?
Yes, I'm Amelia Archibald. I live on Bell Road. I'm a neighbor with Ben Billen and a particular culvert that is involved. And we have been sent the letter for an easement on the deed, comes from the selectman's office. So that's why I think I ought to address you. And I would like to give you copies of a revised form of it, which my husband and I have done, because we feel that it is not legally correct the way the easement is written, and we will not sign it. So we are right now an impediment to what Joe wants to do.
So this is your revised decision?
This is I just said that. At any rate, and you may look at it, I put, the word temporary was used, which for me, legally, that would be an encumbrance on our property. Now, I'm 87, my husband's 89. This year we'll be another year older, so my husband's hitting 90. And therefore, we have to be very careful about any encumbrance on our land as a deed for the sale. We'd like a quick sale when we need it in the very near future. And therefore, I have reworded it, my husband and I have reworded it and put in dates, which we feel would legally be very important to this. There's no end to the easement as stated, and therefore I put in dates. Now, if you read the dates, you might need to change them, because I've been told this evening there's a actual construction time for this work with the culverts on Bell Road, which I did not know about. I was not given that information. And so I simply picked the dates of June 1st to October 1st as the time in which this might go on, because I was told that our culvert would probably be done in August. And that would give plenty of time to do it and redo it, or whatever it takes to have it done and finished, and then the easement would no longer exist. Now, that's very important to us, that this would not be any encumbrance on our deed, and therefore we will not sign it as it was written.
Okay.
And that gives you copies to see what we did to change and put in a date.
We'll take a look at this.
And then if you let us know, we'd sign it this week. If the way it's written is okay with you, we will sign it, because we're not against updating the culverts. And we have had that property for almost 50 years. We were there when that road was 2 ruts of grass down the middle, so we've seen all the changes to the roads and all that's happened. And one of the things that Ben mentioned was the speed limit. And when that speed limit was put on that road a good many years ago, I came and questioned why 30 miles an hour on a narrow dirt road with no shoulders and a lot of up and downs to it, which make it more dangerous. And the answer was, oh, well, we can't do it. We'd have to go to Concord and get a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit as an excuse for why it couldn't be done. And that I didn't buy at the time. And I think now would be a very important time. I really want to back up the speed with which people go through. If you give them 30, they'll go 40. And we get now, through the summer on the dry drought type we've had, a cloud of sand and dust that goes about 50 feet in the air when they go through that fast. If they'll go slower, it's not as big a problem. And that, for the safety of the road, as the traffic increases on that road, and it's not just daytime traffic for the commuters, so there's a heavy traffic at commuting hours coming and going on that road. But through the evening, we can tell by the trash, the beer bottles and cans that are on that road. There's a nighttime bunch that cut through that road and throw the stuff out the window. There's stuff from McDonald's, and I mean, this has a special use. We're not out there monitoring it, needless to say, in the middle of the night. So for safety reasons, which has been an issue, we very much urge slow down that traffic, but I'm not sure it'll work if there's no concerted effort from the selectmen and the police to slow this down.
Well, we'll take a look at it, and
but if you let us know, because we're not going to sign something that's just iffy.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
If you want to wait a minute, I want to respond to your question.
Okay.
Unless you have no.
I stand here.
So, we've spent some extensive time with Mrs. Archibald, and we have a lot of conflict.
What?
And so, she asked us to rewrite this for her because it didn't work for her. So I had Ann help us, and we rewrote it. And she would not even take the time to read that. She wanted to write her own. So we've met with her twice. And so she's writing her own stuff, and we've made the attempt to try to rewrite something that works for her, and she refuses to even read it.
May I interrupt to say this is not true, sir.
Okay.
We did not meet. You did not ask me what the problem was that I was not sending. You did not listen to me. You did not ask me. We met in the office because I came here as a selectman first and was told to stop.
You told me
Stop.
that you
Whoa.
Let him stop. And I was sent to him to go speak to him. That's the first time I ever met him. And so I raised an issue. But we didn't talk about this. And then when I did, I spoke to his assistant about it, but I never named what the problem was. So he is not correct.
Okay. Paul?
Could you please take this under advisement? I'll have our attorney, Mike McNally.
That's what we'll do.
This is what I was concerned about, and I'd asked the question, who wrote that original easement? Was it written by a lawyer? Was it written by Joe? And I think it needs to be legally better for our protection.
Normally,
We never discussed it.
Normally, most of these agreements are passed through our
Boilerplate
town
stuff.
attorney, so. But what
That
we'll
would be
do
good.
is, what you've said, we'll take into advisement, we'll take a look at this, and then we'll give you a call.
And as I say, if you change the dates, but it has to be a beginning and end to be legal for me.
Yes,
I'd
ma'am.
appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So another one of her comments is that
Well, we just, okay.
Thanks, Joe.
is anything from anybody else?
No, go,
So,
please.
Okay.
in touch with you.
Ooh, I gotta lose. Oh, lost my agenda. Come on, where is it? All right, we met with Joe.
Hi, Chief. Casino?
Casino? Oh, he wasn't in there, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is to replace all the Scba air tanks. January 1, we're going to have to throw them away because they're past their date of use. They're a 15-year bottle, and we're coming up on that. So these are a 45-minute bottle that we're replacing them with.
Okay. We discussed this during the work session. We have a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the purchase of the 45-minute carbon with valves.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 you
Okay,
very much.
thank you.
Have a good night.
Two.
Okay, any committee reports?
I do.
I have one.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Go.
Okay, I met with Plymouth Village Water and Sewer District.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and do your report and then sign it.
And I explained our recent resolution to determine that Plymouth is a destination for environmental studies and eco-tourism. And they were very receptive, and they're going to consider some type of a response and support. I also had several other meetings.
Okay.
I went to Concord to the Department of Resources and Economic Development, and I met with Michael Bergeron from the Division of Economic Development, and we discussed marketing and long-term and short-term aspects, and in the grant process, state grants that were available. And then I met with Vicky Simino, who is with the Cultural and Natural Resources, and she runs major advertising campaigns that we could be included in, and we would need to work with the Central New Hampshire Chamber of Commerce. There is funding available there, and it's the beginning of a process of developing plans to try to market the town. And then I had another meeting with the Conservation Commission, and we had a university student who did a study on how we can improve aspects of our hiking trails. And then we had a group of citizens from the Loon Lake Association who met with the Conservation Commission, and they're hopeful to work with us on developing some form of access to the lake.
Great. Good. Anything else?
Yeah, one more thing. Dick Piper managed to save the old river gauge. River gauging originated in New Hampshire, in Plymouth. And for many years, we had this river gauge down behind Samahas, or down by the river there. And when they put the new bridge in, they had to remove it. And apparently, the Fish and Game has jurisdiction over the land in the area where it should go. And Dick Piper has put the gauge in storage, and he would like to see it restored and put back, so that it could be where it as close to where it originally was as possible.
Okay. All right. We can talk about that. Do you want to? Oh, well, we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
Okay.
On the 11th of May, we had a chamber board meeting that I attended. The end of the calendar year the end of the year for the chamber is June 30th, and they've already got quite a number of people that have rejoined. I believe it was 86 was the number. So things are looking good. There is an event June 6th at Deep Haven Rocky World, 3:30?
No, 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Our board meeting was going to be at 3:30.
Okay.
but we moved that.
So at 5 to 7. And that is our year-end event for the members. I don't know if you want to add anything
In general about the meeting or?
about the chamber or anything.
Is that okay?
Would Frank be able to talk for a minute about the chamber?
Sure, come up. Take
People
a
know
couple
me,
of
I'm
minutes.
fairly brief, but here to say that we believe the chamber is of value to the community, and the more support we have, the more things we can accomplish. We think we had an exceptional year, a lot of energy, a lot of activity, got a lot of participation. We're partnering with just about everyone, and then we believe that's what we should be doing. So we're just a soft sell, but hopefully the select board will consider being a member like they used to be, and we're just going to continue to try to do good work so that people feel the value in that, and that's pretty much my thing, and I'm open to answer any questions.
What does it cost for a town to have a membership?
So a membership in general is $240, and if people signed up early, it was early. We encouraged the towns to consider different financing because they have a greater benefit. Most of the towns that are members, like Campton and Waterville and Bristol, just kept on the books of what they used to budget. So now, as everybody knows, 5 chambers joined to become 1, so they don't all have to cross and do that. But those that were previously, like the Campton, I think they pay $690, even though we recommended $600 or $1,200 for greater sponsors. What I've been hoping to encourage and think about, so that towns that get a larger percentage of room and meals, to consider thinking, and in future budgeting, thinking what would 3% of the room and meals to the chamber, because our ultimate goal is to support the communities, enhance the economic vitality of the region. The more resources we have, the more we can do. We are, just like you guys, trying to do the best we can with a small budget. We're trying to use the JP funding to do some of our marketing things, but our ultimate goal is to partner with everyone. The places that we go after, so the smaller members and we kept the fees low. They used to have a complicated tier, asking for a lot more money. The small members say, what about the banks? Well, those are the ones I go for the sponsorship. We've getting $5,000, $1,200 from larger places. So you can legitimately be a member for $240. We are encouraging the towns and bigger organizations to think of a greater participation. So the other towns have done what they've had in their old budgets, which was $600 or $690.
Okay.
So at the town meeting, we were approached by somebody that requested, I think, $3,000 at
Correct.
the time, just to get plugged into, a nonprofit. And, we suggested becoming part of the budget process if you want to go in that direction. But would it be preferable just to become a member versus budgeting in a?
So if you wanted to do it just to have that and think about next year's budget cycle, anything, we would appreciate anything. We think it's in best interest and shows good to the business community that you are a member. But we would encourage people, and that's one of the things. We know it's a tough budgeting thing, so we did send out letters to most of the towns in December as they were thinking about doing the $600 or $1,200 or 3% of, and so I think the 3% of, is it about $100,000 that you get back from room and meals or the town? So that's probably where she came up with the $3,000.
Okay.
And Frank sent me a copy of the letter that was sent too, so I'll
Yep.
share that.
And we'll just follow up again. Again, my whole thing is soft sell. I want people to believe in us and doing that. I've talked to Paul a few times, and I'm not arm twisting. I'm doing this, and the more at the select board, I think if people see us doing good work, they're more likely to want to be involved and support the chamber. Because I don't think people, now that a lot of these small chambers were about to die because of fiscal things, now we have a good solid one to support the region. We're hoping to see value. And again, we're going to work hard to try to prove ourselves. If it doesn't happen, we disappear, and I think it has a void. So that's what we're doing. Again, our goal is to try to do good work.
Mike?
So the board has me as the representative for the Plymouth Selectboard, but yet we don't have a membership. And what did we used to
Paul would know, and I don't know, because you just, did you just belong to the Plymouth, or did you also belong to some other ones?
Just belong to the Plymouth.
So I don't know exactly what the Plymouth.
I would have to discuss with
Yep.
them what the past board's decision
Yep,
was.
yep.
Well, we'll take a look at
Yeah,
it.
and that's all I ask.
We'll do that. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for your time. Did you need me to talk about say for anything else?
Well, I had a discussion with Frank about what we're trying to do
On what?
with the, the resolution we passed,
All right.
and trying to work with the state, and I feel it's, very important that we work together.
I think we will continue to do that.
Okay.
And I think we'll look at grant money and stuff like that to make some of this happen.
Okay.
Thank you for
Appreciate
your
it.
time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Frank. Okay.
So, did you have anything, by the way? or- So there was a planning board meeting that, addressed several applications. One was a continuation of the Fairgrounds Road property lot line adjustment that we were doing for several parties. And there was some additional information that came in by a couple of the parties, and we provided them several outcomes of how we'd like to, or suggested that, they, do a couple of considerations in order for us to approve of the project. Whether or not that's going to happen, we'll find out at the next, planning board meeting. We also had an application from Alex Ray for redoing the barn that, it was the Peasley barn from, Peverly, excuse me.
Heverly's.
Peverly barn from Canterbury, and he purchased it and is going to reconstruct it as a replacement for an event building that's going to take the place of the greenhouse.
Mhm.
And it's going to have like 125 more, it's going to be like 250 total. There were also a couple other lot line adjustments, including one for the last chair. And they picked up a piece of property, and it looks like they have some relief for the parking problems that they've had out at the circle. So that was, I guess, hopefully that'll be in place pretty soon. I also went to the Plymouth Energy Commission meeting, and they discussed the projects of power purchase agreement to create a solar array at the recycling center, a 100 kilowatt array, and that's going to be discussed at a future meeting of the town, but, and that's pretty much it.
Brian?
No, nothing.
I had nothing. Okay. Do we need to go into
Yes.
a non-public? Okay.
I have a question, if it's possible, about the Alex Ray piece you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So, even rebuilding that barn, there's an existing roadway there.
For the cemetery?
The lake and the cemetery
Yep.
and stuff. If they build that barn, then that's gonna increase the traffic flow right there. That's a very bad spot, corner. So
Yeah.
I would, in my recommendation, I would consider, before you finalize everything, maybe you can access it from like the farmhouse side.
That was my thought as well, and actually, Alex was here for 2 meetings so far. One was just like a concept kind of a thing, then the other one was actually bringing the application forward. And I mentioned twice the cemetery and needing access and town access, and he's aware that he's going to accommodate it. He knows that where it shoots down now, it's steep, it's, on a bad area. So he's also thinking about putting like a berm area or something behind the parking, increasing the parking area and creating kind of like a stone berm or something. So at least we got the idea in his head to accommodate access to the cemetery.
That's a concern I had, so that's it.
Okay, and Alex picked up all that property. So, I mean, we'll definitely be able to work with the developer when we can go forward.
All right, thank you. Do we have any public comments? No public comments. Public's quiet. Okay. Do we have a motion to move into non-public?
I make a motion, we go to non-public.
The second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 So kids, you're gonna have to